When it comes to pantry staples, there's one item that quietly holds the line in kitchens around the world. Beans. They don't shout for attention. They don't cost a lot. They sit patiently on shelves, dried or canned, waiting for the right moment to show what they can do. And when that moment comes, they deliver. Every time. Whether you're cooking on a tight budget, eating for performance, or trying to clean up your diet, beans show up and do the job. Here's why beans are the MVP of any kitchen pantry, and why they deserve more respect than they get. They're the definition of versatile. If you had to cook with just one ingredient for a week, you could do worse than beans. Actually, you'd do pretty well. Beans adapt to nearly any cuisine, any meal, any cooking method. You can toss them into a soup, mash them into a dip, bake them into a casserole, fry them into patties, puree them into a sauce, or eat them cold in a salad. They hold up in tacos, stews, stir-fries, sandwiches, and more. They're the culinary equivalent of a utility player, equally comfortable in a supporting role or as the star. Whether you want something earthy and rich like a pot of black beans, or light and zesty like a chickpea salad, beans fit. You can go Italian with cannellini and rosemary, Middle Eastern with lentils and cumin, Latin American with pintos and chiles, or East Asian with fermented soy. There's no corner of the globe where beans don't belong. Beans are nutritional powerhouses. Don't let the humble reputation fool you. Beans are packed with nutrients that matter. They're one of the rare foods that deliver both protein and complex carbohydrates in a way that's slow digesting and balanced. That means they keep you full longer, stabilize your blood sugar, and give your body steady energy. They're high in fiber, most Americans don't get nearly enough, and rich in iron, magnesium, potassium, and folate. For plant-based eaters, beans are essential. But even if you're a meat eater, beans fill nutritional gaps. They contain no cholesterol and very little fat. That makes them a heart-healthy choice and one of the best foods for gut health. Fermentable fibers in beans feed beneficial gut bacteria, which translates to better digestion and immunity. Beans are like multivitamins with flavor. They're dirt cheap and stay that way. Price matters, especially when groceries keep getting more expensive. Beans are one of the few foods that have stayed consistently affordable over the years. Dried beans are ridiculously cheap, and even canned beans are still a bargain. For the cost of a few dollars, you get enough to feed a family multiple meals. Not only are beans cheap per serving, but they're also filling and nutrient-dense, which gives them an edge over many other budget foods. They punch way above their weight when it comes to value. Plus, they don't spoil quickly. Canned beans last for years. Dried beans, if stored well, are good for even longer. That kind of shelf life means you're not tossing money in the trash. They make other ingredients go further. Beans are great on their own, but they're even better at stretching what you already have. Got a half-used jar of tomato sauce? Stir in some beans and make a quick stew. Leftover rice? Add beans, season it, and you've got a new meal. They bulk up meat dishes too. Chili, tacos, pasta sauces, you name it. That means you can use less meat and still end up full. In lean times or unpredictable grocery runs, beans buy you more meals out of fewer ingredients. They're especially useful for cleaning out the fridge. That lonely carrot or celery stalk doesn't have to go to waste. Just throw them in with some beans, herbs, and spices, and you've got soup. Beans are the glue that holds the odds and ends together. Beans are one of the most sustainable foods on the planet. We talk a lot about eating sustainably, but not every green food walks the walk. Beans do. Growing beans uses less water, land, and energy than animal-based proteins, and even many plant-based ones. Legumes are nitrogen-fixing plants, meaning they pull nitrogen from the air and add it to the soil. That reduces the need for synthetic fertilizers and improves soil health. Less water, fewer emissions, less pollution. Beans are a triple win for the environment. According to the UN, increasing global bean consumption could help reduce greenhouse gas emissions and make agriculture more sustainable. That's not hype, that's reality. Eating more beans is one of the simplest ways to reduce your environmental footprint without sacrificing taste or nutrition. Beans bridge the gap between cultures. There's something universal about beans. They show up in the comfort food of almost every culture. Red beans and rice in the American South, refried beans in Mexico, chana masala in India, lentil soup in the Middle East, cassoulet in France, baked beans in the UK. Every culture has a bean dish that says home. This makes beans a powerful ingredient for anyone who likes to cook across cultures. You can explore new flavors and traditions through the humble bean, and you don't need fancy ingredients or tools to do it. All you need is a pot, a few spices, and a little time. In a divided world, beans are one of the rare things that connect us. They're built for batch cooking and meal prep. If you cook in batches, beans are your best friend. One pot of beans can become a dozen different meals throughout the week. You can season them differently, mix them with different grains or vegetables, mash them, fry them, chill them, whatever works. They're easy to cook in bulk and freeze well, which makes them perfect for anyone trying to save time or avoid takeout. You don't need to follow a strict recipe. Once you've cooked a big batch, you can riff endlessly. Some beans in a grain bowl, some in a wrap, some in a soup, some blended into a spread. It's the kind of ingredient that works with you, not against you. And when dinner's just 5 minutes away from becoming a vending machine snack, leftover beans can save the night. Canned or dried, they give you options. Some foods are tricky to store or prepare, not beans. You can go the quick route with canned, or the slow, economical route with dried. Canned beans are ready to go in minutes. Just rinse and use. They're great for last-minute meals, or when you need to throw something together without planning ahead. Dried beans take more time and a bit more attention, but the payoff is worth it. Better texture, deeper flavor, and even lower cost. You can soak them, pressure cook them, or slow simmer them on the stove. You can even flavor the cooking water with onions, garlic, or bay leaves for extra depth. The point is, beans let you choose how you want to cook. Whether you're in a rush or in the mood for slow food, beans meet you where you're at. They can be comforting or clean, indulgent or light. Beans are uniquely flexible when it comes to health and mood. Want something hearty and rich? A smoky pot of pinto beans with bacon will do it. Looking for something clean and fresh? A chickpea salad with lemon and herbs hits the mark. Beans can be decadent or simple, cozy or crisp, depending on how you treat them. That makes them ideal for people who eat with changing goals or cravings. Trying to cut calories? Beans help fill you up without loading on fat. Looking to bulk up? Beans pack protein and pair well with rice or eggs for a muscle-friendly meal. Going meatless? Beans replace meat without feeling like a compromise. Whatever the goal, beans can be tailored to fit. They just taste good. Here's the bottom line. Beans taste great, not in a flashy way. They're not the star of the produce aisle or the main attraction on a menu, but they have depth, earthiness, a kind of comfort that sneaks up on you, and they carry flavor well, so they shine when paired with spices, aromatics, fats, and acids. Black beans go deep and smoky. Chickpeas are nutty and firm. Lentils are grassy and soft. White beans are buttery and mellow. There's a whole spectrum of flavors and textures to explore, and no two varieties are exactly alike. Once you get past the idea that beans are boring or bland, you start to see them for what they really are, one of the most flavor-friendly foods around. A final word, beans are the underdog that wins. We don't talk about beans enough. Maybe it's because they're not trendy. They don't come with influencer endorsements. They're not imported at great cost or hyped by luxury chefs. But they do something better. They perform every time without fail. They're the food equivalent of a great bass player. They might not be front and center, but without them, the whole thing falls apart. In kitchens that value practicality, flavor, affordability, nutrition, and culture, beans are king. They're there for the broke student, the seasoned chef, the parent feeding a picky kid, the athlete building muscle, and the retiree watching sodium. They cut across all of it. So yeah, beans might not be glamorous, but they're the real MVP. Let me know if you want to adapt this for print, digital, or another format, or if you want a shorter version for social media or email.